everyone's busy. So, maybe we can pass the time by, I don't know. How about I explain to you the entire FNAF lore, every single part of it? Okay, so Fredbear's Family Diner is opened, and the entire thing is like they mix mascot suits with the technology in the form of spring-lock suits that can be used as a wearable suit, but when needed can just become an animatronic when they're... But these spring locks were very flimsy, so they could snap on a whim and kill someone. If somebody went as far as to move too much, breathe too much, whatever, they just snap. Okay, so eventually the Fredbear's Family Diner becomes extremely popular, and eventually one of William Afton's kids, Michael Afton, decides to play a prank on his brother, the crying child, which we don't actually have a name for, and I refuse to say what I think the name is because, I don't want to get smited, and also I don't have, a proper opinion on the name of the crying child. Anyway, so, why am I doing this? Okay, so the entire thing is, so this ends in Michael Afton grabbing the crying child, holding him up to Fredbear, and which is one of the mascots, while he was still an animatronic, still functioning, and putting him in his mouth. And keep in mind that I said the spring lock can snap on a whim. So the spring locks were too flimsy and snapped on the crying child, causing death. Our first death of the series. Naturally, as anyone would be, William is grieving and decides, hey, what if I'd crash out and kill a kid? So he decides to kill Charlie Emily outside of the pizzeria, and Charlie Emily's soul goes into the security puppet, which is this thing that's trying to make sure that kids don't escape, run off, and because Michael used to run off and leave the crying child at the pizzeria, and Okay, yeah, and remember when I mentioned that William decided to crash out and kill a kid? Well, he actually felt happy after doing that, so he decided to kill 5 more and stuff them into suits. And I forgot the names of all of them. So, there's, except for Cassidy, because that's the one that everybody knows. Everyone knows Cassidy. If you don't know Cassidy, what are you doing? So Cassidy was one that he was, according to the video, especially brutal with, and, stuffed into the Golden Freddy suit, which caused her to be the most vengeful spirit, or whatever gender they decide to give them. I'm just gonna go with them for now, because the FNAF movie confused me. Well, anyways, so they decided to, so the dead kids naturally attack all the security guards, because, that's the only time that's after hours. That's the only time they're after hours and, can kill without getting spotted. So the dead kids kill a ton of security guards, and, the bite of 87 happens, but, nobody cares about that unless you're Markiplier, apparently. But, that was the wrong dang bite! Anyway. Anyway, my frustrations with old Markiplier aside, let's get back to business. So eventually William Afton decides to create a new sister location. See what I did there? See, that's a FNAF reference. Anyway, so William Afton decides to create a new sister location called Circus Baby's Pizza World, where he can just be completely free to do whatever he wants with the robotics. And he decides to make it so that they can easily trap kids, but that ends up backfiring as one of his own kids, Elizabeth Afton, gets caught by one of the animatronics, Circus Baby, and is now possessing her. And the entire game is really, really confusing. This is where the lore starts to lose you a bit. And I'm probably going to stop here so I don't get into controversial territory. I am not going into security breach because there is no way I am going to be talking about Gregbot, or that there is no way Gregory is a robot.
Ruffles? What are you doing?
Nothing, Mom, just explaining the entire FNAF lore.
Ruffles! I told you not to do that when we have guests. I am so sorry about them. They have no manners. Here, just give me the pearl you want me to read already. I can't with this.